July 16th meeting.
I'll make a motion we approve the July 16th Board of Public Works and Safety meeting minutes as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Ron. Is there a second? Second by Curtis. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Next item on the agenda is a Stuckey Street closure request from the Missionary Church for September 13th. And Brent, if you want to come up to the chair there and just kind of explain what's going on that day.
Yeah, you may have heard that we have coordinated with an organization and we're actually going to build 2 homes. And we're going to do it in our front parking lot. And then we have to load all of those pieces. We will build them in pieces, and we're going to have the loading preferably on the north side there at Stuckey Street and in the open area to the north of our church. We are simply asking to close it from the highway to the church. So the people from the apartments would not be impacted. They could get in from the backside of our church and into their driveways. But we'll have enough people walking back and forth across that street during that project. We would like to close it from 7-ish in the morning till we hope to be done by 2 o'clock. So that
So
would
Brent, you're talking about from the highway back to the office entrance to the.
our
church
two
parking lot.
Yeah.
So anyone coming from the apartments could still go out the back and onto
Yes.
Parkway Street. So
Yes.
there's nobody's gonna be cut off completely. It'll be
No.
maybe a little more length to travel, but not terrible for a short period of time. So that was one of the questions when I saw this, how far were we gonna go on Stuckey Street? Were we gonna landlock them completely in? That's helpful.
For the apartment people, will they be notified or?
We will let all of them know because actually some of them at times park in the area there the church has. We'll have to let them know that we won't be able to do that on the 13th.
Are you needing barricades or anything from the city or just?
That'd be helpful. I mean, we'll come up with our own barricades if we need to, but if there would be a couple we could use, that would be great. But we don't want to, I mean, we can make it work.
And what time frame? And this is just Saturday, right?
Just
It's not
Saturday.
Friday.
We're gonna actually work Friday night to cut all the lumber, but that'll be in our parking lot. So this is just on Saturday.
And what time?
We would want to block it off by 7, I believe, would be the time, and we would be done by, we're pretty confident by 2, probably before that. And I certainly, if I have a truck, I could pick some up, set them up, bring them back. Nobody else would have to do that if that would be okay.
Yes. Chief Kreider, any issues from a fire department perspective?
No.
You still could access lots of different ways if you needed to get in there.
Yep.
I don't have any concerns. I think it's a very worthwhile project, and if this is a small concession that we as the citizens of Bern need to make it happen, I'm okay with it.
Okay, we can work out something with the barricades, Brent. Whether we can get them to you or have you pick them up or something like that, we could probably work something out.
Yeah, we could touch base when we get closer.
I'd be willing to make a motion, Mayor, if it's okay, to have Stuckey Street closed from US 27 on the morning of September the 13th, 2025, to the entrance to the First Missionary Church office area until, roughly speaking, 2 p.m. in the afternoon when they've finished.
Okay, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Curtis. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So we can touch base as we get closer on barricades, okay?
Thank you very much.
Yep,
Thank you,
you're
sir.
welcome. Okay, next item is unloading zone request from Et cetera ECA. So you guys wanna move up to the
Never
chairs?
done this formality before.
So if you could just explain kind of what you're looking for.
Yes.
And ask.
If you go down Fulton Street, where our donation door is the last door on the right. And, often that spot is filled for hours sometimes. Yesterday, there was a car there, I don't know whose it was, for like half the day, I think. And, we have, so we're requesting maybe a unloading zone, like 10 minutes or 5-minute unloading zone, during business hours, or if you would prefer it to be permanent, we don't care. It's just something that we can allow, business to flow for us well and for people to keep being able to drop it off. Oh, we run into a lot of issues with, I mean, we're able to carry, but I mean, just there's a lot of older people that come in and, which leads into another thing that Fulton Street is really like full a lot of the time. So there's just nowhere to go. I've told people to just put on their hazards and, you know, move as quickly as possible. And sometimes we help them unload. And so I don't know, do you have anything to add to that?
No, other than we wondered if, on a Sunday night, we have Goodwill coming on Monday mornings and they come at 9:30. And so we, especially like if we would even have like a movable sign or something that you could put in that parking spot, just so that nobody would park there in the morning so that when they come, they can get in, we can wheel our, Goodwill bins out the door without a car being there. And a lot of times there isn't a car, but sometimes there is, and it makes it tricky to maneuver everything.
What time does Goodwill come on Mondays?
9:30. And they're there only for like 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're late and sometimes it's a little after that, but usually 9:30, between 9:30 and 9:40, they would definitely be there. And it takes about 10 minutes to get everything loaded for us. I guess then we lock the door. I don't know how long they're out there then, maybe another 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's definitely under a half hour. We're looking into, there's an old, I don't know what you call them, arm off the donation door that used to be, I think, for an office sign, and we're looking to get a permanent donation sign set up that's on our property off the building, so maybe that would even help, like,
People maybe wouldn't park.
yeah.
It would just say that that is the
The donation
donation door
door.
and like our hours and
So when Goodwill shows up, looking at these pictures, is it a semi-trailer or is it a box truck?
Mhm.
Box truck.
So do they need 2 parking spots or do they need the unloading, loading zone parking spot that we're talking about here? And they can use that little stretch to the alley. Is that enough?
a lot of times that's what they do, pull in front of the alley or kind of in there.
Yeah.
And then they use,
I don't think it would need to be 2 like car parking spots, just 1.
I think,
And then just up to the alley,
and
it
then
would
they can-
fit in
sometimes
there.
they pull forward from the
Yeah.
alley where there's more of those white lines off past the alley too. So they go back, those white lines, the alley, and then the other white lines, and then the parking. Get a ramp off their box truck that comes down.
I'm not jumping ahead, but let's just hypothetically say there was an unloading, loading zone there and it was 10 minutes. I mean, that would address the Goodwill situation, right? Because no one should be probably park there for very long.
Right, technically though, our business hours start at 10 and they come at 9:30. That would be the only,
Potential issue.
yeah.
While we're here, we're wondering, just because we have some volunteers asking, we wondered, what is the rules as far as the road to park on Fulton Street, like business owners? Are they supposed to park there, or people permanently all day, or half a days, or what is, I guess, expected out of that? We have some people asking this. Our shifts come in at 10 to 1, and then new volunteers come in from 1 to 5. And most of our people are able to walk, and they'll park here if the city building, or I'm sorry, what's the road right in front of your city building parking lot that runs east and west? Franklin, thank you. They'll park there a lot too. Some have been, parking in at Ford Mosers because they feel that they deserve to. But we say, well, you should do that at your own risk. But we said we would ask what the rules are on the road because they're wondering that certain vehicles will be like, well, this color one and this color one are always there and we can't find a parking spot.
The one lady specifically, I mean, she's almost 90. I mean, it's really, we're talking like, it's not like they are, it's kind of warranted. Like, I mean, can't help that our volunteers are
90 again.
yeah. But I mean, it's just, especially in the winter time. I don't think right now is technically a problem, but it gets really dicey. There's just like, I came the other, what was it, Friday. I don't know, like Fulton Street was full. There was not even a parking spot before business hours. And I was like, what is going on? So before, like there was, nobody would even have had a parking spot relatively even close. But technically those are 2-hour parking spots. So I don't know.
That we told them we would address that.
Well, the general rule of thumb is those spots are 2-hour parking. I don't know if there's a sign over there or not that says 2-hour parking, but the normal parking spot in downtown Bern is typically 2-hour parking from what I can remember. Is that right, Chief?
Yeah.
So I know there's cars that park by Exetereka and they're there longer than 2 hours, obviously. Or but I don't know if there are people that are working their shift or if it's just other customers that are other people that are parked downtown for other reasons. And
Right.
I don't know if people lose track of time or don't pay attention to the sign or what, but a lot of people park and it's there all day.
Yeah.
Not just there, other places too.
Right.
So
I guess why I'm here, maybe one more thing. It's not winter yet, but are the sidewalks supposed to be taken care of by the business owners? Like, let's say the Ford parking lots on both sides, those are usually never shoveled. And I just didn't know, is that like something that we address to them, or how does that work? That's the other thing. Our volunteers say they have to walk in the middle of the road but we did bring it up at a Burn Downtown meeting, but maybe we address that again, or how does?
well, I know when Bank was over there, I shoveled those walks.
Really?
many times,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So we pay to do ours, so we're like, it's like done, and then you can't get out of your car on either side of Fulton Street without stepping in a big.
So the bank owned both parking lots that Mosers now own. So
Okay.
typically it's the one that owns the parking lot that should shovel the walks,
Okay.
but it's not right out their door either. So.
Right.
It's kind of,
Sure.
it's maybe easier just to forget that there's sidewalks over there that people use. I don't know. But
So Dave, on the unloading, loading, parking spot item, I mean, if we were to think about pursuing it, it would be something that an ordinance would have to be updated, and if this body could.
You can recommend
we
to
could
council.
recommend to council, but council would still be the ones voting on it because they would have to sign the ordinance.
Anytime we make changes to the parking, we need to do that by ordinance. So, yeah, you can make a recommendation, whether it's certain hours, whether it's permanent, whether it's only a loading zone, whatever.
And is there a time limit to the loading and unloading zone? Or, I mean,
We have some,
we don't have it. It's-
we used to have some where it was no parking for a certain period of time.
Well, we have over in front of
Is
the
it-
witness, it just says 15-minute parking.
Well,
That's
but
all
we
it
also
says.
have, wasn't it the Boys and Girls Club that we have no parking for a period of time? Where we started that way and then we made it on Barron Street.
Yeah, side.
Not sure what the right verbiage, if it should say no parking unloading zone, or if it should say unloading zone, and a time limit to
Well,
it.
I think the time limit, because I think you guys don't want donations being dropped off when you're not open, right? Is that the
Correct.
rule?
That's a rule, yeah.
I mean, so we'd want it
The
to
door's
be
locked.
during the time that they're open. I mean, 'cause-
We didn't know if it would be too much like verbiage on the sign to be like Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 1. I mean, if it would get real tiny and then people are like, what is that,
Because we don't want to take away from Fulton, the restaurant, because that'd be silly. They need that parking on the weekends and stuff like that. So yeah, we're not really sure either how, if people would read all of that, or if it should be like a manual sign that you can put there in certain
And
hours.
again, not jumping forward too much, but if there was a sign there that said, loading, unloading zone, Monday through Friday, or whatever we end up saying,
Mhm.
if it's on there and someone chooses to ignore it, and there's an ordinance, and someone's parked there,
Mhm.
you pick up the phone,
Hmm.
911, the police are called, they issue a ticket, it's not your fault, they didn't read the sign.
That's true.
So I mean, again, that's if it was in place, if there was an ordinance that would substantiate the ticket that would be issued, so.
Mhm.
I personally think it's worth considering based on the, input that you guys have provided. I don't know, Dave, what would your recommendation, would we
I
have
know,
to actually?
I'm conflicted because I think it's a valid concern for deliveries and for the operation of their business. But then I think during that period of time, we're down to what? 2 regular parking spaces and 1 handicap. One question I guess I would have, and this is a real for instance thing. At one time, there was discussion about making Fulton Street pedestrian only.
Mhm.
What would you do if something like that happened? There's not a door on the alley side, is there?
Mhm.
I think
Just trying to think of
that would harm
workarounds.
us pretty good, I think.
Mhm.
That door opens and opens and opens during the day, yeah.
To your point, Dave, the downside of doing this would be, eliminating a parking spot. I mean, I think those parking spots are supposed to be 2-hour parking anyways, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure there's signage there that says it, but that's a street that's considered downtown parking, so it's taking it from a 2-hour limit down to a 15-minute limit.
I think that if you'd want to have some kind of no parking there at some point, you'd want to try to make it as simple as possible. I mean, weekdays, or do you have deliveries on Saturdays too then?
10 to 1.
10 to 1. I mean, you probably want to say Monday through Saturday, 10 to 1 or 10 to 2 or 10 to 5 or whatever. Make it consistent so they're not reading
That's
three
what
more
I was
lines.
thinking. I was like, it seems
Yeah.
like a lot to like, what am I allowed to do? You know, yeah.
And then, so maybe your deliveries aren't the whole time that you're open or I don't know.
Mhm.
But I think it needs to be simple enough that people are gonna have a hard time just reading it anyway. I mean, people don't read signs.
Yeah.
So,
Or they'll park there and then when they come back to the car to leave, they'll see the sign.
Yeah.
Is this something that needs, do we have to, make a decision on it this morning to take it?
you don't even,
to council?
we can just go right to city council and have council discuss it.
That's,
I think,
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think
kinda
we'll
what
take
I-
it under advisement and try to figure out what the best solution is and reach back out to you folks.
Sure.
And
Mhm.
then come up with, we'll try to figure something out that works for everybody.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Mhm. Yep, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
thanks for
you.
putting this together and coming to meet with us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, under other, John Kreider has something that he would like to,
Yes, we've been talking about this ourselves for about 6 months or so, or even longer than that. Is adding a automatic transfer switch to our generator at the well field. Pardon?
We don't have one?
Not automatic, no.
Oh.
There's a generator, but it's not automatic transfer.
yeah, we have a generator, it's just
Okay.
not a transfer switch on.
I think that'd be beneficial, especially in the bad weather. I mean, me and Curtis before went through 4 feet of snow to get out there to get the generator turned on. In this instance, we was able to make it. But so I'm proposing that to you. It'd be done by L&L Electric, $25,298. So.
So do you get an alarm on your phone or
Yeah,
you have to go
yeah.
out or what?
Yep. Yes, we do. We get alarm on all of our, if we have to lose power anywhere.
Are there others that don't have automatic transfer?
There's a few, yes. There's a Main Street lift station, but I think with the new project is that's gonna have an automatic already. The sewage plant's already automatic switch over, so it's just another, why we didn't do it back in 2000 or 1999, I can't answer that, so. But I think it's long overdue, just for time constraints.
The funding for this would come from the water utility.
Yes.
We're under, Calla, we're under the amount where we can just take this quote.
Yeah.
What's the amount?
50.
Yeah, I thought it was 50. Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking 50,000.
I can't remember what it was 25, but
I'd make a motion that we go ahead and allow, John Kreider in the water department to work with L&L to get this automatic transfer, station apparatus in place.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Any idea how long that's gonna take him?
I would have to call the fish, hopefully by winter.
Yeah, okay. That's what we're open for, yeah. Okay, any board comments?
I had 2 questions. What's the status on 150 West? I've had a couple people ask, like, how much longer it's gonna be closed.
Well, for some reason, nobody, the people that have done, well, let me try to rephrase that. The contractors that have done work on that street, both the first part of Iger Way and the second part of Iger Way, for whatever reason, nobody likes to stay there and finish the job. So we've had 2 different updates to the schedule. I just got another one yesterday. Obviously, these contractors are not just working in Bern. They have multiple projects throughout the area, but it's frustrating because we've had multiple times on this project where they come and work for a week and then leave, and come back and work for a week and then leave. So they were here last week and now they pulled off again. I got an updated schedule from Ben from Cobalt, and they're supposed to be back next week to do some more work, and then KBL has work to do, and then Brooks has work to do, but it's gonna get pushed back into the first part of October. So
Okay.
October 18th is the supposed completion date, so they're within the completion date, but
Take all of it.
I mean, there was a deadline.
yeah, it's October 18th. I talked to the guy from Cobalt yesterday or on Monday, and he apologized. It wasn't his intent for that to happen, but I hear that from everyone else too. So it's never their intent to delay the project. But so that's the last I've heard, it'll be supposedly be done.
Mid-October.
Yeah, so we ran into a tile on the west side that apparently nobody knew was there until it got dug up, and we think it's a county legal drain, and so we got to make sure that we check that out before we go further, just to make sure that we haven't that they didn't mess that up anywhere. So, but there's some downtime here where we can get that checked out, I believe, because they're not there working. So maybe that's a blessing. I don't know. So.
Okay, thanks for the update. The other project I had a question on, maybe John, you can provide an update on the water service line pipe inventory and the lead pipe replacement. Is there anything going on with that currently?
It's all, we applied for low interest loan, no interest loan through SRF. So it's all in SRF's hands right now with Baker Tilly and Westler Engineering.
Okay.
So we're just waiting on, I haven't got no updates lately, have you? Yeah.
And what's the story on 700 South right now?
The last thing I heard from Brad Yoder was that there was a section of road between the bus garage and Tim Lefever's house that needed to be tore out. And they're in the process of doing that right now. And then they were
Because it's not the whole way, right?
No, it's
That's
not the
what
whole way.
I
That
understand.
initially, the word was that they were gonna have to tear the whole thing out, I think, but they did more testing, and they've determined, from what I know, that there was a section, and they're going out farther than that section just to make sure, and then they're digging the base down another half a foot or foot to make that better. And I saw them digging out yesterday when I drove out there, so I'm not sure what the timeline is on that. Is that correct, Shannon? Okay. Any other comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.